Today we mourn the loss of a great man, but tomorrow it will be business as usual.
No. Everything stops.
What's up guys, Cine Critique here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new 10-part series by Sky Atlantic titled Gangs of London, and if you're a mafia connoisseur like me, this show is definitely a must watch. For this video, I'm only going to be recapping the first episode of Gangs of London. I will come out with a video early next week reviewing the whole season, so if you want to keep up with Gangs of London, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest reviews. This show is pretty gory, and I'm going to be showing a couple of graphic clips from the show, so be warned, this review is not for the faint of heart. And with that disclaimer now out the way, let's talk about Gangs of London. So Gangs of London tells the story of a city being torn apart by the power struggles of the gangs that control London and the sudden power struggles that's created when the head of London's most powerful crime family is assassinated. For 20 years, Finn Wallace has been the most powerful criminal in London. Billions of dollars, or I guess in this case pounds, flowed through this organization year in and year out. So when Finn gets assassinated at the start of the show, all hell breaks loose. With rivals everywhere, it's up to the impulsive Sean Wallace, played by Joe Cole, to take his father's place. What interested me the most in checking out this series is that I keep hearing about how this is one of the most gory and violent TV shows to come out in quite a long time, and after watching the first episode of this 10-part series, this show definitely doesn't disappoint. Within the first 5 minutes, we see a guy get the shit kicked out of him, hung upside down off a building, and then burned alive. The opening shots of a TV show can oftentimes make or break a show, and in this case, it does a great job setting the tone. The violence is pretty extreme and excessive at times, and this is just the first episode I'm talking about. I will say it's not pointless violence, and there's a weird beauty to the violence due to the amazing cinematography. The first episode sets up all the major players we're gonna see take part in this mafia extravaganza. We meet Ed, who's the co-leader of the Wallace Empire and Finn's best friend, as he's trying to help Finn's son Joe keep everything on good terms while they try to track down Finn's killer. But Sean just wants retribution as soon as humanly possible and doesn't care how much blood is shed. We actually know who the killing was done by. It was Darren who pulled the trigger, but what we don't know is who ordered the hit. The Wallaces think the Albanians did it because the killings took place on their turf, but other than that, no one knows, and no one really cares who did it as long as it doesn't affect business. Of course, it indeed starts to affect business, as Sean decides not to listen to Ed and go rogue in his mission to find out who assassinated his father. We're also introduced to Elliot, one of Ed's foot soldiers. His motivations in the first episode are pretty mysterious, but from what I can gather, he seems to just be a lowly ranked soldier who sees an opportunity to move up the ranks if he helps Sean and Ed in their investigation on who killed Finn. Elliot is definitely the MVP of the first episode, with not just one, but two awesome fight scenes with amazing set pieces. Elliot looks like he's going to be Sean's right-hand man going forward, and I'm pretty excited to see the path he takes from being a low-life loser to potentially being one of the most important and feared figures in the Wallace family. Michelle Fairley is also in this. She's most famous for playing Catelyn Stark in Game of Thrones. She plays the widowed wife of Finn Wallace. She's only in a few scenes in the first episode, but looks like she's going to be playing a major part in the show, helping her son Sean kind of decipher who to trust and not to trust. It's very fitting for this show to cast a Game of Thrones actor, because by judging from the final scene of the first episode, there's going to be a lot of backstabbing going on. The ending scene also asks a lot of questions. We see Ed kill Jack, who was Finn's personal driver the day Finn got murdered. He spikes Jack's drink and slits his wrist, making Jack's death look like an accident. Apparently it's for the good of the family, but something tells me Ed has other motivations for wanting to kill Jack. You know how the saying goes, loose lips sink ships. There's a great balance of power between the Wallaces and the rest of the other crime families that's established early on in the first episode. The tensions and feuds between the different characters is entertaining to see, and I look forward to watching how the season plays out. There were a lot of great moments in the first episode, especially with Elliot's two fight scenes definitely being the highlight. I knew this show was going to bring the gore. I had no idea they were bringing some kick-ass action too. I'm going to give this first episode an 8.9. It has all the ingredients to be one of the best dramas on TV, and if you're a mafia connoisseur like me, then you're definitely gonna get a kick out of this show. But alright guys, that's my review of the first episode of Gangs of London. Let me know what you think about Gangs of London in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with the latest videos I'll be releasing that'll cover the rest of Gangs of London.